going on, guys? So, unless you've been living under a rock lately, you pretty much know about the whole data mine situation having to do with the new update. But first, I'm actually kind of curious, and I'll get to a reason on this later about why I'm asking. What team are you on? Are you Team Mystic, Valor, Instinct? Which one are you? And I'll explain why I asked that later on in the video.
Through my veins, crawl.
Also, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. So, anyway, with the new update that most of us, or should I say all of us, have our hands on now, it looks like pretty much nothing at first glance, but like we've spoken about before, the wonderful people over at Sylph Road, who are the only data miners that me and most of the people in the Pokemon Go community trust, because they don't really speculate on too much. They kind of use the information that they have in front of them to come to a normal, almost factual conclusion. Obviously, so, you know, it's not like they're gonna say that it's raining, you know, rainbow Pokemon and eggs because of whatever. So today I wanted to talk a bit about getting ready for the next big update. Now, last time we spoke about the possibility of there being a maximum of a particular Pokemon in each gym. So what that means is there won't be any more Blissey-filled gyms anymore, like the one you see on the screen that I ran across today, out by the inlet in Atlantic City. It's yeah. Anyway, so it means you're gonna have to come up with some new ideas of what to put in a gym as a good gym defender. I mean, this won't be an issue if it's a gym that you just caught, but now let's say you're building up one of your own team's gyms, so you're really gonna have to come up with like 10 or 11 in comparison to maybe the 3 or 4 that you had last time, because there's going to be a limitation. I mean, basically what's going to happen is you go to a gym, let's say it's yours, Valor, Instinct, Mystic, whatever it may be, and it's a level 7. And now you go to try to rank it up like you should, and next thing you know, you notice that it already has a Blissey, it's already got a Tyranitar, a Dragonite, a Gyarados. You know, what do you do? So this is pretty much about what you need to do, or and who you need to start preparing for the next big update.
Disappear when you're with me, when you're with me. I sleep so peacefully. Don't ever leave.
Now, I say all this because the update with gyms and the new mechanics that are going to be coming out are going to make the gyms in themselves a huge part of the game. Not like the stagnant, smelly water that they are right now, where people just drop whatever and walk away and you never hear from them again. It's going to be a much, much bigger part of the game, if not almost the main part of the game. So just to put it into perspective a little bit, now with the new updates, sniping and teleporting and all that, for the most part, done. So, I mean, going forward, you're going to have to focus more on gyms that are near you, either at home, school, work, on the way to home, walking the dog, whatever it may be. The possibility of having to feed your gym defender when you do get them assigned to a gym is also another thing that came up, having to do with the code itself. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, if it's going to have to feed them berries or their own candies or whatnot, but they're pretty sure there's going to be some. That way the gyms don't become stagnant like they already were. And that was the main problem. It's like you get these level 10 gyms and there's nothing you could do about it. They're just stuck there. And with the recent Blissey issue, which they're not nerfing, I don't think they're going to nerf Blissey. If they haven't done it by now with the situations that they've had, they're not going to do it at all, because, and I can understand why, they think it'll take away from the integrity of the game if you start ridiculously balancing out certain aspects. I mean, Blissey's supposed to have a high HP level. It's supposed to be a giant punching bag. So to bring it down to more of a Snorlax level would kind of damage the integrity of the game and what it's always been. This isn't like it's a one-off game that's never had a past before. They actually have something that they need to go off of. Now, with all of this gym information that we know about right now, having to do with the possibility of raids, only having the one type of Pokemon per gym. If it's only one, it could be 2. We're not 100% sure, but there's definitely going to be a limit. I mean, even the CEO for Niantic came out and said, like, for example, legendaries. People keep saying, okay, well, you know, we know Dragonite and all this and everything with the high CPs are going to be all over the gyms, but what about the legendaries that come out? Let's say, just for the hell of it, let's say, you know, Mewtwo comes out. What then? Well, he already came out and said that legendaries are going to be taking... They're going to be watched very closely, and they're going to be very, very strict on exactly what can be done in a gym with them, which most likely means a gym is only allowed to have one legendary in general. So let's say they release three legendaries for the update. The gym will most likely only be allowed to have one legendary at a time posted in the gym, which, in my personal opinion, is a great idea. Now, with all this new dynamics, everybody already knows the top 7 that are already out there. These you pretty much see in every gym. You have the Tyranitar, Dragonite, Blissey, Vaporeon, Rhydon, Snorlax, and Gyarados. Now, they are the highest max CP in the game, and that's pretty much where everybody bases the gym defenders off of. Obviously, the best gym defender is Blissey, no kidding, mainly because it's a giant punching bag, and half the time it's not a matter of them beating you, it's just a matter of you running out of time. That's usually the problem when it comes to beating Blissey. Now, imagine fighting a gym of 10 Blisseys. So, now, those are the top of the highest CP max level, like I said, but, of course, that could change soon depending on, you know, legendaries. Okay, big if they nerf anything or buff anything. I mean, they have done it before, so it wouldn't but don't expect some huge, grandiose nerf or buff in any which way, shape, or fashion. Now, to get yourself ready for the next update, you're going to want to do a few things. Number one, and they're kind of almost counterproductive to each other, but to a degree, you're going to want to save everything, because we honestly don't know if there's going to be any adjustments and what is going to benefit what or not benefit what. So you really want to try to build up your Stardust, save as much of it as you can. I mean, if you need to use some of it, obviously, to level up, do what you got to do. Try to get as many candies for these particular ones I'm going to go over in a second. So always keep an eye out for that. But the ones that we're going to want to look at next, and you're going to want to kind of keep in your lineup and in the back of your head, is going to be Donphan, Espeon, Heracross, Exeggutor, Flareon, Alakazam, Manshop, Gollup, and Arcane. Those are the ones probably the next, I want to say, I don't want to call them like second tier, but in this case, second tier gym defenders, because they're going to be the next highest CP, again, based on what we know about what the CPs are right now. I'm not including anything having to do with Generation 3 or any possible legendaries, because we know how that goes already. So keep that in mind. Things could change a little bit, but those are the ones that you're going to want to start to either work up, try to find, start stocking up the candies on, Stardust, the whole 9. Whatever you can get it, hold on to it. Now, everybody keeps also asking, when is this coming? Now, Niantic came out and said that they're going to be doing quarterly updates, quarterly major-ish updates. So with that being said, most likely we'll see this update by the end of June. I don't think they're going to wait that long. I think that because we just had the grass event, I don't see them waiting a month and a half to do anything. Okay, especially with this whole spring to summer transition. So I would say probably beginning of June. Now, we might not see the whole thing all in one shot. There's just because all the code's there and all this other stuff is there, does not mean you're going to get everything right out the gate. It's, you know, probably not going to happen. Summertime is the big time. You got the anniversary coming up of Pokemon Go for the 1 year. I mean, there's a lot of things. People are going to be going outside all across America. There's no more, you know, okay, well, California and Florida and Texas, you know, southern Texas is, they can go out when everybody was stuck else in the cold. So now everybody's kind of, you know, getting out of the house. So expect shiny updates, or not shiny updates, but I should say shiny events or something like that, most likely. I'm betting the next one's going to be some sort of a fire event. Summer, sunshine, duh. Alright, so another thing that a lot of people aren't talking about that actually came out in the code that Silph happened to find is the fact that Niantic Labs is actually going to be changing to Niantic Platform. Now, what this kind of says is that they're going to start, I guess you could say, licensing out or selling the platform for their AR Pokemon game to other companies to create other games. Now, how that's going to work, you know, how long it's going to take, development time, blah, 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 who knows. There's already people out there who are trying to compete with the game. The problem is that Pokemon in itself has longevity. It's got 1 million games, card games, fans, I mean, events, everything else. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Plus, also in the code, they're talking about different type of event. There's event code in there. So as the CEO has always said, he really wants to start doing some major live events. So this kind of also leads into that whole situation too. Also with the summer going in, warm weather, so on and so forth. So that kind of puts everything into nice little package, bowed up, and Merry Christmas to everybody early. So one of the things that I happened to notice while I was making this video is that Niantic just released the overall statistics having to do with the grass event. Now this is where my question at the beginning of this video comes into play. What team are you on? Because you gotta kind of, I guess, congratulate Team Mystic because they caught more grass Pokemon than any other team. In total, it was 290 million grass Pokemon caught during that 2-day period. Now, the problem is also during their release, they're kind of comparing it to the Water Festival, which I don't think it's kind of like apples and eggs, because you're talking 2 days to 7 days, you're talking about a shiny Magikarp and Gyarados in comparison to a completely bug-filled, issue-driven 2-day grass event with no shiny. So, just to put it in perspective, there were, what does it say over here? 589 million Magikarp caught during the water event. Now, compare that to the 290 million overall grass Pokemon. You can kind of see what I mean. But again, you really can't. There's no comparison. It doesn't make any sense. It's like comparing a boat to Bigfoot. It just doesn't make any sense to do that. But they did it, so that's pretty much it. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.